Hello, welcome to the channel. Today, I want to share something that can transform the way you read the Bible and enrich your walk of faith. We're going to talk about salt. Yes, the salt on your table has a profound spiritual meaning in the scriptures. What did Jesus mean when he said, "You are the salt of the earth"? Why was salt used in sacred rituals? And how does this connect to our lives today? Get ready for a journey of learning and inspiration. To understand the spiritual meaning of salt in the Bible, we need to go back in time. In the ancient world, especially in the Middle East, salt was a precious commodity. Not only was it used to season food, but also to preserve it in a time without refrigeration. Furthermore, salt played an important economic role. It was so valuable that, in some cultures, it was even used as currency. The word salary comes from this context. With this in mind, think about the depth of Jesus' words in Matthew 5, verse 13. You are the salt of the earth. He is emphasizing the importance of each of us in God's plan to preserve, transform, and add flavor to the world. Another interesting fact is that salt was a central element in covenant agreements. Eating salt with someone was a symbolic act of commitment and fidelity. This practice helps to illuminate biblical passages that speak of salt covenants, as we will see later. Salt appears in various parts of the Old Testament, and each mention carries a symbolic meaning. In Leviticus 2, verse 13, God commands, "Season with salt all your grain offerings. Do not omit the salt of the covenant of your God from your grain offerings. Add salt to all your offerings." Here, salt symbolizes purity, incorruptibility, and the permanence of God's covenant with his people. In Numbers 18:19, we find the expression covenant of salt. All the sacred offerings the Israelites present to the Lord I give to you and your children and your daughters as your perpetual portion. It is a covenant of salt forever before the Lord for both you and your descendants. This is a reminder of the faithfulness and eternity of God's promises. Additionally, salt was used as a purifier and consecrator. In Exodus 30, verse 35, we see salt as part of the sacred incense used in the tabernacle. This points to the role of salt as a symbol of holiness and spiritual connection with God. It's incredible to think that something so simple carried such deep significance. Now, let's move to the New Testament, where Jesus calls us the salt of the earth. This statement is in Matthew 5, verse 13, part of the famous Sermon on the Mount. He says, "You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its flavor, how shall it be restored? It is good for nothing but to be thrown out and trampled by men." Let's explore what this means. First, Jesus gives us an identity, being the salt of the earth. This implies a responsibility to bring preservation, flavor, and purity to the world around us. Preservation. In the ancient world, salt kept food from spoiling. Similarly, we are called to preserve the values of God's kingdom. Flavor. Salt enhances the flavor of food. Our lives should reflect God's grace and love, making the world a better place. Purification. Salt was also used for purification. As Christians, we are called to be agents of healing and transformation. But Jesus gives a warning. If the salt loses its flavor, he is reminding us that our influence can be weakened if we stray from our essence. Did you know that pure salt never loses its properties? But in Jesus' time, salt was often mixed with impurities, making it useless. This is a powerful parallel to our lives. When we allow sin, apathy, or conformity to the world to contaminate our faith, we lose our effectiveness as the salt of the earth. Think about this. Are we preserving God's values or allowing them to be diluted in our culture? Jesus calls us to be different, to live with purpose and integrity. Furthermore, we need to reflect on the collective impact. When the church as a whole loses its essence, the world suffers. This is a call for all of us to renew our commitment to God and our mission. How can we live as the salt of the earth in our daily lives? Here are some practical ideas. Preserve the values of the kingdom. Be a voice of truth and love in your community. Add flavor. Bring joy and hope to the people around you. Small gestures make a big difference. Promote purification. Help combat injustice and support those in need. Strengthen relationships. Just as salt symbolizes covenants, invest in healthy friendships and family bonds. Be light in dark places. Wherever you are, let your life be a reflection of Christ. Being the salt of the earth is not a simple task, but it is a glorious mission. God gives us the grace and strength to fulfill this calling. Before I conclude, I want to share a fascinating fact. In the ancient world, salt was even used to seal friendship covenants. Eating salt with someone meant commitment and trust. This reminds us of the importance of fellowship, both with God and with others. Additionally, salt was used to heal wounds. Think about this spiritually. Have we been agents of healing in the lives of those around us? How about a final reflection? Salt, though small and simple, has a profound impact. In the same way, each one of us can have a lasting impact on God's kingdom, even through seemingly small actions. Now, I want to hear from you. What does it mean to you in your life to be the salt of the earth? Share in the comments, because your experience may inspire others. If this video touched your heart, don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to continue this journey of learning and faith. May God bless you, and see you in the next video.